Dead Rails used to be a very popular and thriving game on Roblox. The unique premise of the game, mixed with the apocalyptic aesthetic, made it a favorite for a lot of players who didn't like playing those grow a garden type games on Roblox. But sadly, since the rise of games like Steal a Brainrot, Dead Rails has almost completely fallen off. And today, we are answering why that happened. But before we dive deeper, make sure to subscribe with notifications on to help me reach 100,000 subscribers, and join the Discord as well while you're at it. Before we get into why Dead Rails fell off, we must first learn who is actually behind the game. Meet a player named Rico Miller. He has been on the platform since the 28th of January 2016. Since then, he has developed many games on the platform, allowing him to gain billions of visits on Roblox. He also runs the game studio RCM Games, who have gained over 4 million members since they started. But none of Rico Miller's previous games can compare to the success of his game called Dead Rails. Now, if you don't know what Dead Rails is a Western adventure explorer game created by RCM Games, which is owned by Rico Miller. The game is inspired by a dusty trip where players have to travel about 80 kilometers in a train while fending off various enemies and exploring different locations around the wild desert. It is overall a pretty fun and creative game, at least when compared to the biggest games on the platform today like Grow a Garden and Steal a Brainrot. The game would blow up almost instantly on Roblox, garnering over 5.3 billion visits in total. To say the game was irrelevant would be a massive understatement. The game used to average over 1 million concurrent players at one time. However, players have noticed that the player count has been going down and down with each day that goes by, leading fans to believe that the game has completely fallen off. Before we get into the downfall, I think it's very important to mention why the game has been losing players, and it all goes back to Do Big Studios. You see, they own a collection of games, some of the biggest ones on the platform. Steal a Brainrot and Grow a Garden are very good examples. Games that feature dopamine loops, pay to win items, and very addictive game features, leading kids who used to play games like Dead Rails to be glued on their iPad playing Grow a Garden 24/7. And it's no surprise that after Dead Rails declined Do Big Studios' offer to buy the game, that they have only seen a downfall since then. I think something fishy might be going on. The game is great, but because of how many people play these new brainrot dopamine loop games, it has completely killed games like Forsaken, Dead Rails, and even games like Pet Simulator or Bubblegum Simulator are dying as well. And it's only a matter of time before every unique game on Roblox ends up dying because all the quote normie players are over on Grow a Garden or Steal a Brainrot. Dead Rails in its prime would easily have 1 million concurrent players, even on a bad day, but nowadays they can only get a maximum of like 50,000 to 90,000 players at once, which has led the community to spam that Dead Rails has fallen off. Even Roblox YouTubers like Chiseled would make videos on its downfall.
I feel awful for this Roblox developer. This is Rico Miller, the creator of Dead Rails, which blew up this year, gaining over 5.2 billion visits. However, recently, many started calling the game out for falling off, as it went from averaging over 500,000 players, at one point even reaching 1 million concurrent, to now getting below 100,000, and over 80% decrease in players. What happened? Well, there's been a lack in updates, but the creator explained he had to take a break for personal reasons, and now they're in a tough spot where the game is quickly losing players.
And yeah guys, if we go onto Twitter and just search Dead Rails, we can see just how many people think the game fell off. One guy on Twitter would tweet out this, showing just how much Dead Rails has fell off. One user stated, "What a hard fall off, holy shit." Another user would state, "Seems to be a reoccurring pattern with these dusty trip games." I mean, I guess. I feel like a dusty trip just died because of Do Big Studios, not because the game lost players naturally like with Dead Rails. They should have sold it to Do Big. I think this comment is kind of stupid, because if they got sold to Do Big, we would be blaming their fall off on Do Big. I don't think it would have been good if they got sold to Do Big, regardless. Another guy says, "I mean, hey, 92,000 players is still making bank, but damn, the fall off is crazy." And I mean, yeah, it's sad, but it's also very surprising that a game like Dead Rails can fall off this easy. But we've seen it so many times. Like with Pet Simulator, shit can just happen. And I'm saying, bro, it's because of the rise of games like Grow a Garden and Steal a Brainrot, and Do Big trying to monopolize the platform. Okay, so I'm over on the comment section of that video we looked at earlier just to see what people think of Dead Rails falling off. Some guy says, "People just need to understand that Roblox game creators are humans and not robots, and they have stuff to do IRL, so they can't always keep updating." I mean, that's totally fair and true, but I don't think Dead Rails not getting updated is the reason for the fall off. I think it goes much deeper into Do Big Studios, Grow a Garden, and just like the amount of people who play those games is the exact reason why these games are failing. I understand understand him taking breaks because game development can have a heavy toll on mental health, but my biggest problem with Dead Rails is that there isn't enough replayability. See, that is not the issue, bro, because Dead Rails games go for like an hour at a time. You realistically shouldn't play more than like one game in a day unless you're just playing to play. You're just brainwashed by the fucking dopamine loops that Do Big Studios have set up for games like Grow a Garden. Like, those games, you're supposed to keep growing your garden until you get the rarest thing, and if you don't, you go back, buy seeds, grow it again. A game like Dead Rails is not supposed to be like that. And like, I know this guy who commented this probably doesn't realize that he's just brainwashed by these games, but dude, saying these games have no replayability is like saying Grow a Garden is too creative and too unique or some shit. Fun fact, did you know that Roblox devs also have normal lives and aren't fucking robots? Yeah, bro, I genuinely don't think it was the Roblox developers' fault. I think it's genuinely just people playing Grow a Garden and those type of games. It's the same thing that happened to Zca's in Lethal Company. They took a break to do other things, then people said it fell off. I mean, Lethal Company was just one of those games like Repo, where it's sort of just like, it's popular for a couple months and then it, I mean, quote, fell off, but I think all them type of games go through something like that. Roblox is a little bit different because of the type of platform that's set up. These kids need to realize it's not even lack of updates that is causing the fall off. It's just FOMO. One Roblox game would be picked up by the algorithm on TikTok, everyone plays it, gets bored of it, and eventually we all leave. I mean, I don't know, I think Dead Rails is a very good game, like, regardless of if you've played it, if you haven't played it. I just think it doesn't fit like the TikTok brain, fast-paced, dopamine loop addictiveness of games like Grow a Garden. I truly believe that it's because of them that these games have fallen off. Also, there is a ton of Dead Rails copycats. Like in the Hatch, Dead Rails wasn't nominated to be a part of it. What was nominated, you might ask? A Dead Rails copycat titled Dead Rivers, which I think this is also another reason why the game died out, because again, it links back to the Do Big Studios shit. These developers are starting to wake up and they're starting to realize that you can't be successful with these type of games. It's literally so much easier to just copy other people until you hit big, which is why a lot of these developers are now trying to copy games like this and turn them into these addictive games, because at the end of the day, they do that, they get successful, and they make money. Realistically, they don't care about the player base, but also they don't have the chance of making their own unique creative game because it's just gonna die out quickly, just like these games do all the time. Probably because half the players in Dead Rails switched to Grow a Garden because there was more updates. This is what I'm saying. I don't think it's because there's more updates. I think it's more because the game's addicting and Dead Rails is just not addicting. You just play it like once a day. Bro's the only one who didn't sell their game and now he's getting the backlash. I mean, yeah, I think people really need to understand that it's not his fault that the game fell off, and I hope he realizes that, because he's probably sitting here thinking like, oh my god, I can't make a good game ever again. My game fell off after me not being there for a couple weeks, when truly that isn't the case. I promise you it has everything to do with the amount of people who are playing these Do Big Studios games. What happened is Roblox's main fanbase right now are 7-year-olds. Explains why brainrot games are getting millions of players and all the YouTubers who play those games are making bank from the 7-year-olds watching them. Simple capitalism is literally what I'm saying, bro, and it's so obvious, so mind-numbingly obvious. And like I said I think I said it in like a video I made the other day, I don't know how Roblox doesn't have any control over this. Like, what is stopping some massive company or just someone with millions, billions of dollars from buying every single game on Roblox and just controlling everything? Like, if you have the money, bro, you have the control, and it's as simple as that. I think that Dead Rails falling off is definitely something to worry about, because it's only a matter of time before games like Dead Rails that are creative and fun to play, not just a dopamine looped game made to get you addicted. Yeah, it's only a matter of time before these games completely die out. We barely have a few good ones nowadays, let alone when Do Big successfully takes over Roblox. It will be over for these creative games, and all we will see is games like Grow a Garden, Grow a Fortnite Labubu, steal a Brainrot, steal a Dubai chocolate matcha. Like, Roblox overall will completely die out after that. Hopefully not, but I'm just very worried. Let me know in the comments what you think about Dead Rails falling off, and if you think the rise of games like Grow a Garden and Steal a Brainrot will take over and ruin Roblox. But as always, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy content like this, please make sure to subscribe with notifications on. To help me reach 100,000 subscribers, join the Discord for daily updates, and if you want to watch something similar to this, click the video on screen now.